Okay, let's talk about the ornaments. The ornaments are the little baby notes that are leading into the important notes of the melody. When we did the other video, that was really just playing the melody and the very most important notes. The ornaments should never interfere with the rhythm of the melody. So that's kind of tricky. Whenever we do the very first one, which is in measure 1, 2, 3, that is a G grace note to F. That's the most simple one we have here. So we're going to play A, G, F, and then a little G, F, E, F. A, G, F, G, F, E, F. We don't lose the melody. We add it to the melody. Hear how it's just a little flip? Not really a big deal, just enhancing that F. The next one is a little bit tougher. That is in measure 4. We have to get 3 notes in there right before the G without interrupting the G being on the beat. I have my thumb on B flat, which you should as well. G, B flat, A, G. Ba-da-da-dum. It's not a lot of movement if you're using the thumb B flat. Da-da-da-dum. G, B flat, A, G. The trick is getting it at the end of that dotted quarter note G. I'm going to turn on the metronome. Kind of wait after the 3rd, 8th beat. 1, 2, 3, E and a 1. 1, 2, 3, E and a 1. That's what I'm thinking when I'm playing that. One, 2, 3, E and a 1. 1, 2, 3, E and a 2. You can do it that way. The best thing to do though is to meter it out a little bit so that you're not late on the next beat. That's the most important thing. Okay, let's look at measure 5, 6, 7. We have the F sharp and then grace notes E, F sharp again before we get to the A. That's a little tricky. And we're going to use the middle F sharp fingering for that. Instead of using F sharp, regular F sharp fingering, we're going to use the middle F sharp fingering. These are the same note. This middle F sharp sounds kind of weird, so we don't use it all the time. But when we're using it really fast, like to help with grace notes or trill or something, we can use it. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the F sharp 8th note, and then we're going to go E, F sharp, A. F sharp, the E, F sharp is really quick before we get to the A. F sharp, E, F sharp, A. You see how that's easier than this really quick? That's kind of hard. And it makes a lot of room for error if these 2 fingers are not coordinated. So F sharp, E, F sharp, A. Hear how it sounds a little weird, but it's okay when we're playing in the middle of all the melody. No one will really hear that kind of funny F sharp sound. Let's get the metronome. And then the next one is a little bit tricky as well, the one in measure 8. We've got to really quickly do E, D, C. That's tricky. E, D, C. An exercise to practice that. Also, this is kind of a tricky movement. Not that you can't do it, but it takes a little bit of work. And we need that. That is. And do you hear how we're kind of spacing it out so we still land on the C, on the B? Let's get the metronome. And cutting off the E, that's the E 16th note on the second eighth beat, will help get the ornaments in the right spot so that you can get to the C at the right time. So we are going now to measure 12. We have a trill on the F. We have to make sure we end it in time to play E, F, G, F ornaments, grace notes, before getting to the E on the second big beat, or the fourth, eighth note beat. So that one is, I'm going to space it out so that the E, F, G, F are 16th notes on, or I guess there would be 32nd notes on the third eighth note. I'll show you what I mean. So if I'm doing it without the trill, I'm going to do it without the trill first. One, two, three, E and a 1. Or 1, 2, 3, E and a 2. Or 1, 2, 3, E and a 4. Depending on how we're thinking about counting it. 1, 2, 3, E and a 4. And then if we add the trill in, we just have to make sure we stop the trill in time to get the 3 E and a 4. Trill for 2 beats. So if we're coming off of the measure before, see how they're metered out and I'm getting to the E at the right spot? That's all for the ornaments. I hope that helps.